Ready? Welcome to Nourish, everybody. This is our stretching and flexibility class. This is made to increase your range of motion, ease tension in your muscles, and also another thing that I forget right now. So we're just going to start without saying that thing.
It makes you happy.
It makes you happy. I cannot guarantee you it'll make you happy, but it will certainly give you a better day. We're going to start by standing today, center of our mats. Look down for a moment. Make sure your feet are parallel on the mat, straight down from the hips. If you have stability issues, step one footprint wider and just give yourself that wider base, but don't turn your feet out. Okay, just nice straight feet. Let's just start with a nice deep breath. Start with the breath. Inhale, reach up. Inhale, completely fill up the lungs. Exhale, lower the hands, lower the shoulders. Little bend in the knees. Inhale, reach up, stretch tall. Reach through the side body, extend through the ribs, and exhale, lower that down. We're gonna stay with the shoulders for a moment to start today. We're just gonna reach up into a Y shape with the arms, really striking out on those diagonals and strike your fingertips out. A great teacher called Adrian says, spark your fingertips, like really engage. Don't hold your breath. Pull the elbows to side body, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Inhale, reach wide. Exhale, squeeze. We're going to go out to the T shape this time. Inhale, wide. Exhale, bring elbows to side and see if you can keep your forearm parallel with the floor. It feels very odd, I know. Wide, again to T shape. Elbows to side body. Let that go. Relax the shoulders and just a gentle roll backwards in the shoulders. Just warming up that joint. It's a very complex joint that has issues. Let's go the other direction. Roll forward. And we're going to do something that is called nerve flossing, which sounds really kind of intimidating, but it really isn't. Just freeing up compression on nerves in the forearms and wrists, and even the nerve that rolls up and kind of bundles into the top, just underneath that top piece of your shoulder there. I'm not going to go for the science of it right now. Press the hands together. Any amount of pressure that you can tolerate on that. Elbows are wide. Start to press the hands and lift the hands in front of the face. Forearms start to come together. Press the forearms together and the elbow sides. What are they called? Inner elbows? No. Keep on lifting and pause when you've got to your range of motion. At this point, take a breath in. On the exhale, you will find space to lift. It's amazing. Come on back down. Elbows slowly flare out to the sides, keeping that pressure, if you can, between the hands till they're back to heart center. Now let's lighten that up, just barely touching, and tip the fingertips down. Bring them back up. Tips down. Bring them back up. We're going to just shake them out. Actually, we're going to do the flossing in a minute because there's a lot into that flex of the wrists. We're just going to shake them out for a second. We'll come back, and Kevin won't let me forget that part. Okay, if you've been with us with the Strive class, we've done a lot of lunges, but we're doing them as a stretch today, and we're doing the upper lunge. So let's take that right foot forward. Some people are here for just Nourish, and they need to stretch as well. Okay, want that space between the feet here, not one behind the other. Okay, that makes you very tippy. Bend the front knee and come forward any amount. You can put your hands on your thigh, just for stability and form, more than anything else. And press into that back heel. How far apart you have your feet is how challenging this might be to you. So you make a good choice there. Any amount. We're going to straighten out that front leg and pull the hip back and start to lower the shoulders down. I turn out my back foot for extra balance on this. You can always just turn it out a little bit. Lift the shoulders, bend the knee, and bring yourself forward. Nice and gentle. One more time. Into our modified pyramid pose, drop the forehead. You ever go into some gentle yoga class, you're going to be familiar with some of the terminology. One more time, we come up into our lunge. We're going to bend that back knee a little bit so we can spring out of that and walk ourselves forward and walk it out. Are you willing to do the Yeti stretch cues today? Other foot forward. Okay, left foot forward, right foot back. And again, I'll just show you this. I'm a bit tippy when I'm in this stride, so I just turn out my back toes a little bit. Gives me an extra base. Come on into your lunge. Don't look down, look forward so you can be balanced. Think about pulling the hips back to straighten the leg. Shoulders go down. Lower the head. Everything's slow and controlled. Then lift the shoulders as you bend the knee. We don't lead with the head and the neck and get cranked up there. One more time, going back to the pyramid there. Lower it down. We're keeping this pretty elevated right now. We might come to a deeper version. Bend the knee, raise the shoulders. Let's see your mum today. Bend that back knee and spring out of that and walk it out. And Kevin's going to take you through a stability and balance kind of stretch here.
All right, so we're again on the center of the mat. We want our heels right under our hip bones. We're going to shift our weight onto our left leg and just to start with, touch that toe out there, kind of like a normal sort of stride, like you're about to do a walk forward, but we're going to keep the weight into this load-bearing leg for a minute, and then we're going to bring it back. So we're going to step to that same distance again, step out with that right foot, left hand goes forward at an angle in front of you, and right hand goes back and reaches down. So shoulders are still square to the front of the room, gaze is still fixed to the front of the room, and you're reaching forward and back, up at an angle and down at an angle, and then stepping back.
Opposite hand to foot.
Opposite hand to foot, so we're going to do that as another slow transition. We're going to step forward, reach back, a nice energized reach, but still with your shoulders square. You don't want to be turning your torso. Shoulders are still parallel with the front of the room. And stepping back. On this time, we're going to step forward, do that reach, and then we're going to extend that reach so that we twist our body. So we're reaching even further forward, even further back, and now we're parallel with the side wall. We're looking at the side wall, and our shoulders are parallel with the side wall. Our torso steeply twisted. Now we're going to square up and step back. Now let's shift weight onto the other leg. So that's onto your right leg. First thing we're going to do is just tap that foot forward. Feel the balance of that foot being forward there while you're weight bearing back here. Bring it back. Now we're going to step forward onto that foot, distribute your weight equally, and opposite hand to that front left foot, right hand, shoulders square with the front of the room and reaching. Energize your shoulders, energize your arms. Reach, but don't turn. Shoulders are still parallel to the front wall. And step back. Now we're going to step forward and reach, but not turn yet. Still nice and square, nice and stable, but reaching. And we're going to step back. And then on this last time, we're going to step forward, reach, get nice and stable. And then we're going to engage that stretch further and turn our body. So now we're square with the side wall. Our waist is steeply turned. You don't want to feel this in your knees. If you're twerking on your knees, you're doing it wrong. Also, if you're twerking, you're doing it wrong.
At all, you're doing it wrong.
Stop all your twerking, you rascals. Now we're going to unspin from that and step back.
Do you mean tweaking?
No.
Okay.
maybe.
Walk that out a little bit.
Walk that out just a bit.
Thank you so much.
Here, take your little thing.
I
back
appreciate you. We've given our...
there. Do the other floss before
Yeah,
you move on.
thank you. So we're going to go back to those wrists because they've had a little break here, putting the hands together. It doesn't have to be pressure, okay? This is just the nerve flossing action here. So we're going to take the hands over to one side,
In front of the other shoulder.
in front of the other shoulder, and just create some circles, up and down circles. You can probably feel some level of activity going up and down your arm while you're doing this. Let's go the other direction. So if you're starting to like have tingly fingers as paws, or maybe you're laying on one shoulder, it gets really jangly and stuff, this is a really, front of the other shoulder, doing circles. This is a really good exercise to help free up the compression on that nerve. Other direction. He's cueing me to keep moving here because I get talking. And come to a halt. Let's let that go. Put your hands down like you're pressing on a tabletop that's very low. Okay, so the fingertips are pulled back. Nice flat hands. And then turn them behind.
While keeping them flat.
Try to keep them flat. Yes. Back and forth. And that's our little focus on the wrists and forearms today. I just need to shake that out for a minute. Coming into our side bend today. Today we're going to be doing the side bend that has a wrist hold and drawing over to the side. We'll cue you through that, of course. Okay, inhale, reach up. Let's take a hold of the right wrist with the left hand. And let's come into any amount of a side bend here. Just come on over. Come back up. This time I want you to focus on what you're doing with your hips. Shift your hip over to the left a little bit, and now side bend. Isn't that interesting? Straighten up the spine, bring the hip back, shift the hip, and side bend. Bring the elbow forward, the right elbow forward, look at the floor. Just wrap that bend around. Sweep the elbow up. Look at the ceiling, open up through the chest, and let that go. Just a few rotations in the shoulders to loosen that up. And we'll go to the other side. Inhale, reach up, grab a hold of left wrist. We just use this as a cue to help our brain think, pull over to the side, don't just drop over there. Come up to neutral. Let's do a hip shift. And then come into your side bend. Don't hold your breath. We know you're pressing into your lungs a little bit. Elbow comes forward, look down. Sweep the elbow up, look at the sky, open up through the chest, and let that go. And let's just loosen everything up with some apple picking. Reach up, grab that apple, pull it down. And one side to the other. Nice extension, get up on the toes, soft in the knees, and just reach through. I can pick the tallest apples. One more. And we're going to go to the shoulders for a moment here. We're going to do the tension and then the release of tension. So we do that by creating fists. And inhale, lift the shoulders up to the ears, create all that tension. Exhale, soften and loosen, let that all go. Inhale, squeeze like you have an anger problem. Exhale, let it go. Smile while you're doing it so you know you don't have an anger problem. Well, that cannot be your thumbprint for this, or whatever it is. Little message for this one. That face I just pulled is not allowed. We're heading to our forward fold. Okay, we're going to do that with bent knees. And we're going to start really softly today. We're going to start with just coming down, hands on thighs. What is it actually?
Thumbnail.
Thumbnail, not a thumbprint. I don't know tech words. Going to inhale, reach up. Exhale, come into your forward fold. So hinge at the hips, hinge at the knees, and put your hands on your thighs. Now lower the shoulders. For those of you that are right down to the floor at this point in your forward fold, you go ahead and go for that. We're just doing an upper one this time. Okay, so shoulders are down, head is hanging. Let's lift the shoulders and come on back up. Straighten up. Inhale, lift up. Don't hesitate to take it all the way down to your feet if you want to. Let's come on down. Forward fold, hinge, hinge, hands on thighs or feet, drop the shoulders. For those that they're down to their feet, you're going to come to halfway lift, and Kevin will show you that. Okay, otherwise straighten the legs, flat tabletop back. Bend the knees, drop the shoulders. Straighten the knees, flat tabletop back. Bend the knees, and then roll through back up to standing. A little bit of a back bend going on here next. Keep in mind, a back bend does not mean looking at the ceiling. It is not about the neck at all. We want to keep that neck aligned with the spine. So palms are forward, up in the sky. We start to bring the arms,
Elbows by your ears.
elbows by your ears. Bring the arms behind the head. That starts to lean back and the hips come forward. Any amount, make it small and come back to neutral. Just a shift. Shoulders and arms come back, hips come forward and back to neutral. You can go deeper if you want. One more. Come to neutral and swan dive back into your forward fold. Knees bent or straight, wherever you want to be in your forward fold. And gently roll up to standing. I'm handing this back to you again because we're doing feet today.
What?
You're not on the right page.
I wasn't prepared.
You know feet off by heart. Feet by heart.
All right, so we're going to be doing our hands and I wasn't ready. I knew there was going to be Yetis. We're going to have our elbows by our ribs. We're going to spread our fingers nice and wide, and we're going to spread our toes nice and wide down on the mat. Make sure your hips are over top of your heels. You're nice and balanced between your feet. Weight distributed front to back, left to right, nice and even. Then we're going to crunch up our toes, crunch up our fist, make a little foot fist down there, toes pulled tight and your foot arched. Spread it wide, spread your fingers wide, and push each toe down into the mat. You're kind of matching that with your fingers just to make your toes know what to do. Then you're gonna crunch up your fist and your foot fist, make a nice arch in your foot, ball up your toes, crunch up your foot, get a foot cramp, spread it all nice and wide. Again, spreading those toes as wide as you can, pressing each one individually down into the mat. Little toes, middle toes, big toe, wiggle around in there. All right, one more time. We're gonna crunch it up, not hold it very long, spread it wide. There you go. Now, pick a spot on the wall in front of you for stability's sake, something that isn't moving. We're gonna just roll up onto the balls of our feet and back down. Gonna roll up. You can have your hands whatever you want for balance. I like them out here still. And back down. Roll up one more time. And back down. Then we're gonna go up and hold there. And then we're gonna just pulse a little bit so that our heels don't quite touch. And we're working our calves and our balance. Just a little bit of pulsing there, up and down. Just giving a little bit of calf strength, moving some fluid around out of our legs. Now stop. You okay? I'm good. Gonna spread our feet a little bit wider now. Shift our weight onto this foot and pull those toes back toward your shin. Pull nice and hard, engage that thigh, tighten up your glutes, really give that leg a lot of energy and let that go. Shifting to the other side. Pulling those toes up toward your shin, really tightening that whole leg. Let that go. Gonna do each side one more time. Pulling up nice and tight. Trying to keep a lot of energy in that leg. not just the calf, but the whole length of it. Shifting to the other side. Pull nice and tight. Really get some tension in there, and then let it go and walk that out. Maybe even a little bit of knee lift. Get those legs. Oh, and finally a big toe check. So again, heels under your hips, looking down. We were going to try to keep all 4 toes on the ground and lift the big toes only. So we're just lifting those big toes. And the other toes stay down. If you have to, you can do this in a chair and hold those 4 down and make that big toe work independently from them. It's really important that that big toe does its job. And so making sure you can lift it is important. Make that noise. That's important too.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We're going to change that out into leg stretches. I just wanted to really quickly say, we try to stretch more than we talk for sure in this class. I was watching a scientific study about insoles in shoes, how people get sore feet, start putting insoles in their shoes, and they gradually have to like increase the insoles because their feet still get sore or get sorer. And what the doctor was saying is when you start to get to that point where you need insoles because your feet hurt so bad, it is a sign that you really need to do things like this to strengthen and get your feet more flexible. You're supposed to insole and, not insole and stop there. Insole and add exercises and stretches for the feet so that it doesn't progressively get worse. All right, so we're going to be feet are side by side underneath the hips, straight down. And we're going to go into a bit of a leg stretch here. This is the one where we shift a hip, bend a knee. Okay, so if one leg stays straight, the other knee bends. And we just come into that nice back of the leg stretch here. You can put your hand on your thigh for extra balance. And then come on up, straighten both legs, bend the other knee. And since this leg stays straight, the hip has to shift back, but that creates the tension in the back of that leg. It does go back and forth just like a strange little in-place waddle. This is elephant walk, I think. I'm not sure. That's certainly not a yoga term for a change. Back and forth. One straightens, one bends. A little bit of a twist because the hip goes back. So good. If you get tension in your legs because you've done a bunch of hiking or stairs or things like that, that's the stretch for you. Going to the shoulders. Coming cross body with the hand. So this is swing the arm up until you're about mid-chest and then hold. Okay? Either you cradle it because you're injured and or you're repairing something and you just look for that roll forward in the shoulder cap here, or you ask for that nice stretch from your arm. Whatever you need out of that. Do a check. Is your shoulder up close to your ear? Let's lower and lengthen that side of the body. Or the other thing is, have you got your arm like a garrote around your neck? We want it down low here, where it's an effective stretch. It's not a garrote. Garrote. Sorry, I'm not French. Let that go. Is that what it's called? All of it sounded really strange when I said it. Let's bring that arm across. Oh, he'll be okay. He's still breathing. Let's bring that arm across. I'm squeezing my mic a little bit, I'm sorry to say. And make sure you release through the shoulder, roll that forward. Do your check. Here or here? We want this. I'm going to have my phone tell me how to pronounce that word.
I garroted myself.
You can karate yourself. Let that go. Just let it relax. And shake out the shoulders. I'm going to come down to the mat in just another minute here. Let's do a couple things. It's so much easier to do things with arms when we're up here. So we're just going to stay with that for a moment. Up near our arms. When we have them underneath holding us up, it's harder. We're just going to do a little bit of finger wiggling here.
Wow, it really is a...
Yep, arm focused. For a moment. We're not going to do the big flexing things or anything though. And then this way. Can you feel all those little cords and tendons working so hard? You okay? All right. And we're going to be coming down to the mat now for the remainder of the class. You can absolutely substitute this with chair work instead if being on the mat is too much. We're going to do a couple of things on our hands and knees to start here. So going sideways, please, Kevin, yes. We're going to start with just knees are underneath the hips. So they're hip distance apart, straight down for the knees. Then put your hands down, straight down from your shoulders. Okay, the thing you want to check, I'm going to come forward for this. The thing you want to check for this is that the creases of your elbows are facing the top of the mat. You'll know it's wrong when you bend your elbows and they're out at the sides like this. Rotate in the shoulders, bring them back. And we're going to do our cat-cow from here. Okay, so just nice flat tabletop back to start with. Let's start by just swaying the spine and letting the spine release and belly button comes towards mat. Just keep it really simple here. Now curl the spine up, lift it up like you're an angry cat and tuck your chin. We'll add details as we go through this. Inhale, sway the back, bring the heart forward, gaze comes forward. Exhale, push through the hands, tuck the chin, arch the back. Next time, we're going to pay attention to the tailbone. I know you have to take a couple breaths here, that's okay. We're going to do the tailbone. So lift the tailbone, pop the booty up a little bit, and then let the backbone sway. Heart comes forward. Press through, tuck the tailbone. You don't have to stay with the breath. And arch the back. We want that nice undulation of the spine. Inhale, sway the back. Exhale, arch and push through. Come to neutral spine, and let's come back into our child pose. Knees are wide, toes are together. Okay, so we have this nice V with the shins here, with the feet together in the back, and then just come on forward and lay yourself down upon the mat. I'm grabbing my yoga block. These things do not cost very much, and they come in really handy if you have a hard time with some of the positions. So as I bring my forehead down to the mat, if you cannot do that, get a yoga block, and you suddenly have somewhere to rest your head, and it changes what you're doing with your shoulders and your spine.
And it has 3 sizes.
And it has 3 sizes as well, yes, depending on which side you use. Okay, spread the fingers wide, forearms are down on the mat. Relax between the shoulder blades. So do that by consciously tensing. Push through the elbows, arch through the back. Exhale, soften between the shoulders. We live in a hunched up lifestyle nowadays. Sitting down over top of things. We have to let that go. Hips to heels. Slow, deep breath. And feel your body start to respond and settle into this very good stretch. Lift the gaze, and any amount come forward on your forearms, keeping your elbows down, and then sink the hips back to heels. Inhale, come forward, just a little float going on here. Exhale, come back down. One more time. And sink it down. Walk your hands back. Had a nice break in our wrists. We're going to be doing thread the needle. Okay, so if this is a hardship for you, I'll very quickly show you. If being on your hands and knees more and being in a thread the needle is a hardship, you're going to be doing a lift of the elbow and a curl through like this instead. Okay, so anyways, hands and knees here. Coming through into our, you can stay sideways. Let's just take the left hand to the ear, lift up the elbow. Bring that elbow to the crease of the other elbow. Look to the right. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bring it around. Then extend the whole arm up. We're going to thread the needle here. That means the back of the hand slides behind the forearm. Bend the elbow. Lay the cheek down on the mat. Remember in Nourish, if there's one exercise that just does not fit you well, we're only in them for about a minute or two. So you can just take a break or do whatever your body needs and meet us in the next one. Walk your ear a little bit away from the shoulder, lay into that shoulder. Now think about your hip. Have you kind of crushed into your left hip? Square it back up. And add the leg extension if you choose to add more. Otherwise, you're just in that stretch. Leg comes back down. Press strongly through the right and unwind. That's a complex one, I know. Hand down and right ear to shoulder. Right hand to ear. Wow. Lift up the elbow. And just, we're staying really elevated, nice flat back. Lift it up. Don't collapse into this, just twist around, just warming up the spine. Now, whole arm extends, sweep that arm through, bend the left elbow, lay the cheek down on the mat. Again, a place where a yoga block could be used if wanted. Square out your hips. Decide if you want to add that leg extension on the left. It's a bit of a balance and a stretch. Just stacking up things if you choose. Bring the knee down. Press strongly through the left hand and unwind. We're coming through to seated. We're on the mat, so you can absolutely be on a chair instead right now. That is up to you. But we're seated in cross-legged. If you're seated on a chair, come forward on the chair, get your feet flat on the floor, and be in a nice upright position. Don't be slouching into that in any way. Okay, otherwise, cross-legged here. Make sure you're on your seat bones, nice and tall. Let's scoop out through the belly, curl up through the spine, and any amount forward fold. Whew, that's tight, isn't it? Unless you're a Kevin and you just lay on the ground. We're not going to hold this yet. We'll do a static one in a minute. Come on back up. And let's go into our seated side bend. Hello, Kevin. Let's put your left hand down on the mat. Reach up with your right and come into your side bend. Again, you can have a little hip shift there. Any amount, come into that side bend. Seat bones are down. Don't rock over. Don't hold your breath. Inhale, straighten up, push through that supporting hand. Exhale, lower to the side. Elbow comes forward, look down at the mat beside you. Ooh, can you feel that wrap around your rib cage? Elbow comes up, open up through the chest and gaze up. And sweep that arm around and down, going to the other side. Reach up with the right. And come into your side bend. One side a little different from the other, certainly is for me. We never want to side bend to an extreme because our ribs will hurt for days afterwards. Come back into it again. Make a really good choice in the side bend. Elbow forward, look down. It's because there's very tiny muscles in between the ribs, and when we overstretch them, they take a long time to recover. Look up, arm sweeps back, and just sweep that around and put it down. Doing some torso circles here, nice and slow. Let's rock back and change the way your legs are crossed if you're on the floor. Lean to one side. Bring the body forward to the other side and up. Very slow, very controlled rotation of the upper body. Head just stays in alignment with the spine as you sweep on through. Feel it in your hips. So good for us. And change direction. Come to a pause, and let's go back to where we started. Coming into that forward fold. Make sure you haven't reorganized yourself and that you're not on your back on your sacrum like this, okay? That makes it very hard to do any kind of forward motion. Scoop out and forward. We're going to be here for a moment, so put your hands down, support your body, breathe through, and decide if you're too deep into it. If all you can think of is how your hips feel right now, back out of it a little bit. Find your static stretch. It isn't in the extremes. Slow, deep breathing. Come on up. Let's bring those knees together. Feet side by side, and let's just loosen up the hips from what we just did here. We're going to do some seated windshield wipers. Okay, so feet are side by side, really close. Knees are close. Let's get an anchor because we're going to be moving and lay the knees over to one side. And take them over to the other side. Back and forth. Don't get crunchy shoulders and ears, okay? Push through and make sure you got that good support in your arms. We get so focused on one thing and start making other things very uncomfortable. This time we're going to go over to the right, stop there. Now take the left leg, open up almost in a butterfly pose. Sorry, you were thinking pigeon. And then follow through with the other leg. Open the knee until you're in butterfly pose and follow through. One more time, each direction. And come to a pause, extend the legs long. I forgot about our straps, but I don't know if I'm using them, so I'm not going to go get them right now. Legs nice and long. You can always keep that micro bend in your knees. If seated like this is super hard for you, just roll up a towel and just put it under your knees at this point. Okay, nice and tall. Actually, let's just loosen that up anyways. Bend the knees. We're all going to bend our knees. I realized that the next one was going to make us feel better anyways. We're going to just do a gentle row. Reach it out, extend long, and then pull the arms alongside the body until you squeeze the elbows and tuck them a little bit behind. Extend long and pull back. Just a gentle row. This is one of my favorite dynamic stretches for the hips and the back of the legs to start to settle down for us. There we go. And now pause. And now decide, do you want your legs straight or do you need that little bend? It's like bending the right knee and right foot comes from the ground. We're coming into our seated twist sequence here. So let's make sure we're quite upright. Ground down into the seat bones, but lift up through the rib cage and the shoulders. Broaden through the chest. Deep breath in. Relax the neck. Hold that leg with the opposite hand. Left hand is your anchor. Right arm goes into the air. And we turn, put down the hand, anchor, and encourage the twist with the hands. Don't collapse into this. Gaze is level. Nod your head a little bit. Make sure you're not trying to look as far as you can. Inhale tall. Exhale, use those arms and turn. Look forward. And this is where we add things, or you stay with what we just did. Make that choice, okay? But we're going to add on a leg extension. Or you hold that knee and we come back to looking and turning to the left. You can extend a hand. Look forward. No matter what your position is, look forward. Look behind. Look forward. And bring that foot across. Okay, I've just shifted this leg more center mat so I can take my foot on the other side. If this is a hardship for you, your foot goes on this side. Up to you. And just hug that leg into the chest. Maybe you've even lifted your foot a little bit off the floor, but a really nice deep hip stretch. Slow, deep breathing. Let that respond. put your foot down on the outside of that leg if you can. Okay, I'm gonna just assume we've all moved on to this stage. You might be here, that's fine. But just one time, we're gonna go into the twist again with it in this deeper hip position. Hold on to the leg, reach for the sky, and turn again to the left. A little deeper in the hip, a little more in the stretch. Look forward, extend the arms long, and do our counter stretch over to the left. I might have used the wrong cue a minute ago. Sorry about that. And unwind from all that. Bring the foot alongside, extend long. A couple of gentle rows just to loosen up what we just did. And then we go to the other side. Hopefully I remember all those things. Bend the knee and put the foot on the ground. Make sure I have my seat bones nice and tall. Don't get crumpled, don't let gravity win. Let's fight. Nice and tall. Hold on to that shin with the right hand. Reach up with the left. And turn and look to the left. It doesn't matter how far over your shoulder you look right now. Just look nice and level, soft in the neck. Inhale tall, exhale, use the hands to engage in the twist. Look forward and decide if you're adding the leg or not. Oh, another crack, Kevin. And then look behind and decide if you're adding the hand extension. Such an engagement. This is our big move of the day, folks. Here comes the tricky part. Look forward. Look behind. Next time you look forward, bend that knee and bring the foot across. Don't forget you have to walk your heel over to be able to hug that knee into the chest here. Nice and tall. Okay. And then we're going to do that stretch one more time, just a little deeper. Holding on, anchoring. Inhale, reach up with the left and turn. And then look forward, add the arms, extend long, and do your counter stretch. Put it over to the right. Counter stretch, Kevin. I think I forgot something, but I don't know what it is. And he wasn't here to remind me. So I hope I did a good job. We did the hug, yes. Okay, and bring that foot over and extend the leg long. We're gonna gradually do a forward fold, which is the exact same muscles as standing up and then touching your toes, but without the weight bearing. We're gonna start really soft. Bend the knees, and we're gonna be at the spot where you can just lay your thighs upon your forehead. I don't know what I was talking about. Lay your upper body upon your thighs. Inhale tall. Exhale. I just mad lib a class, I swear. And just lay down upon the thighs and let everything be very soft and relaxed. Even lengthen the back of the neck. Tuck the chin. Roll the shoulders away. This one is soft. The next one is much more engaged. Come on, up. Nice and tall. We're going to step those heels out about an inch. And this time, do not curl up or tuck in. As soon as we do this, we feel like we're doing a better forward fold, but we aren't. Our eyes are closer to our knees. That's what we've accomplished. We're gonna stay broad through the chest, nice and tall, and just close the hinge. Nice flat back, shoulders broad. Come on up. Walk the heels out a little bit more. Inhale, tall. Exhale, forward fold. That's a lot, isn't it? Maybe you're at the depth you want for this. We're going to do a static hold. I'm going to straight legs. You can keep that bend in your knees. Inhale, tall. Exhale, come into your forward fold, any amount. Now here's where you make a couple of choices. We're just holding here, keep breathing, and do a check. I'm not there in person to help you, so you need to just do your check on that. We don't want to be curled up. You might put your hands on the mat and help support your upper body. Or you might put them behind your calves and draw your forehead towards your legs. If there's discomfort, lift the shoulders and come out of this a little bit, or bend the knees. Holding in a slow breath, static stretch to make progress. And lift the shoulders up. The legs a little bit of a shake. Holy moly. Where are we at? We're going to be laying down. Oh, we only have a couple of minutes. We only have 4 minutes. Maybe we will not lay down today. That seems like a lot of work. We're just going to stay seated and bring the soles of the feet together into cobbler's pose here. I always have lots of things we could do. Okay, so knees are wide. Be careful as you draw your feet back that you don't start to rock back. Instead, what we want to do is actually put the hands down and walk the hips towards the heels. Reach through one hand at a time, clasp the toes. You can even put a strap around your toes if you want to, if that's just too much for you to reach down there and grab a hold. And we're just going to give ourselves a little bit of a butterfly thing where we just take the knees up and down and just have a little conversation with the hips here. Nothing extreme. And pause. A little bit of tension in the arms so we can do a neck stretch here, which seems strange, but we want that top line stretch here. A little bit of tension, lower the ear to the shoulder. Doesn't matter which one, just lower it over. Take a breath here, let the neck settle down. Tuck the nose to the shoulder. Roll back ear to shoulder. And get your head on straight. Other side. Ear to shoulder. Nose to shoulder. Roll back to the ear. And bring your head up. Look as you can lighten up the grip on your toes there, but let's look as far as we can to the right. Take a breath there. Look as far as you can to the left. Back to neutral. Tuck the chin, look down, and feel the length through the back of the neck. Okay, while we're tucked like this, pull the shoulders down, like draw the elbows towards the floor, shoulders away from ear, and then relax the arms. Lift the chin, lift the gaze, look high in front of you. Nice stretch to the front of the throat. We often end up like coughing a little bit because this is a strange stretch. And neutral, that's a lot. Come to neutral with that, relax, and just step the feet out a little bit. Let's get a bigger space here. Coming into our modified turtle. Okay, palms up, underneath the shins. And we just curl up. Tuck the chin, slide the hands down. Blow out my mic, says Kevin. I'll be careful. And we just come forward any amount, forehead towards the feet. Feel this in your hips, but for a moment, let's pay attention to the shoulders. Don't brace, roll the shoulders forward. Long back of the neck, soft in the jaw. Slow, deep breathing. Feel it all the way down to the ribs connecting to the spine. And come on up. Let's bring those knees together and extend the legs long. Flex the toes, towards the shins. Point the toes. Do you feel your calves moving? Such a good pump.
I already did toes and
I know, but we're now seated down, so it's so much easier. And finally, our last forward fold to finish off the class. Inhale, reach up tall. And just close that angle and come forward. Look what you've done. Come up to neutral spine. Great job, everybody. Thank you for joining us for Nourish. I hope you have an amazing day.
golf clap.
Golf clap?
That's not.
That's the way they do it in Canada. Bye, everybody. Thanks for joining us. See you Wednesday.